Welcome back to the channel. You're looking good today. In today's installment, we're going to be looking over my art portfolio. This is my first ever art portfolio, and I want to share the process with you guys. Now, only about a third of it is truly completed. I meant to make 16 pieces, and I only have about 3.5 done. And the deadline is like in April, so I really gotta get on it. But I'm thinking of making this into like a half a series, maybe a 3-part series. I'm not really sure. I said half a series, a 2-part series or a 3-part series, maybe a 4-part series. I'm not really sure yet. I haven't decided. But I want to share this process with you guys. So let us begin. And the very first piece that we have going on. Oh, before we can even start, I have to introduce you all to what the portfolio is based around. So essentially, my teacher approached me and told me that I needed to make something. I needed to create a question, and I needed to answer that question with my art piece. And and whatever I choose, it has to be something that's not only good for one piece of art, but multiple pieces of art. And so what came to mind was, what would a world look like if it never stopped raining? And so that's what we have here. Now, the first piece. We have this lady sitting on a bench. She's wearing Crocs, a red raincoat, and a red top. And she just doesn't look very happy. Now, what I imagined for this piece is, I'd have it currently raining, obviously, and the bench itself would actually be a bit rusted to show that it's been raining for a little bit. Maybe not very long, based off of how tall the water is on her foot. But it has been running for a little while. There's also a poster or a newspaper matted to the back of the glass on the bench, and it's we don't know what it says, but we can read it's endless rain, and it's New York Times, so it's something important, something relevant, and it's just It's been raining for a couple days, and she's just not very happy about it. Maybe she was someone who was into the rain, and now that it's just been going. It's overstated. It's overstated. Now, in the next piece, we see a little boy sitting on top of a doghouse, surrounded by a variety of different objects. Now, so the idea in this piece was that the idea in this piece was that I would create a contrast between how dark the world is around her and him, and how bright the world is to him. So although the world is in peril, his world is actually still quite bright, because children oftentimes don't see the bad in every situation, although they probably should. So to really create this effect, I thought, well, how can I make it bright in water? And I got to thinking, neon objects tend to reflect light a lot easier than any other type of object, at least from what I've seen, especially clear ones. So I thought, what could be easier than a crocodile floating? And once I came up with this idea, I also came up with the idea of creating a bit of a motif where crocodiles would just be somehow relevant in every single art piece. And the last piece, it was the Crocs on shoes. So although not the same thing, same word. But yeah, we've got her crocodile reflecting the light in all different directions, his crocodile reflecting the light in all different directions. We have the dog playing in the pool. We have this little turtle that he's playing with. A life jacket that he is not wearing, lily pads and just other vegetation, in the corners, just to show that it's been going on for a while, and it's But ultimately, the idea with this piece was to show the world is bad. It's still raining. It's quite flooded. You can tell just by how tall the water is, but there is still some joy to be made in it. Now, in this next piece, it kind of shows that I might actually have... I'm sorry if you guys can hear the construction in the background. Poor timing on my part, I suppose, but I'm doing my best here. Now, this next art piece kind of shows that I might have the MAOA gene, because this is a bit psychotic what I've got going on here. Now, essentially, I was tasked with two things at the same time: this portfolio, and I also had to enter myself into a competition. And that competition revolved around me picking an art piece from a museum that we went to and making something from that, and coming up with a good writing piece to, really bring that connection home. And what I came with, and the artist that I took inspiration from was Kahn and Selesnik. I believe that's how you pronounce it, Kahn and Selesnik. And in all of their pieces, there's a bright, or like, no, I wouldn't say bright, but it's an empty sky for the most part. It's very empty, and I should point out this: despite how it might seem, it's not actually art; it's all photography, and the way that it's all taken, the skies are always so clear and so kind of saturated, but clear. That's what I'm getting at. So my next piece, I was like, well, how can I incorporate a clear sky in my always raining world? Well, what if there was a pause? A momentary lapse in this endless rain, which seems a bit juxtaposing, but there would be a momentary lapse and the world would erupt in cheers, and we could see how many different people have reacted to this phenomenon by the way that they're dressing, their reactions, this, that, and the third. And the reason I think this makes me a bit of a devil is because, as you can tell by the clouds, it's not quite over just yet. Soon those clouds will come back together, and all hope will be lost until eternity. This fluke in God's power will not persist, and I feel bad, but man, it makes for a pretty art piece. I even ended up learning a couple things about art while creating this piece. So, yeah. Too bad, so sad for the people of this universe. But, I mean, hey, there was some joy. It can give them a little bit of false hope for the future. Maybe, make things not so bad. Well, who knows? My next art piece, spoilers, but it stems around fears. I have gathered a bunch of different fears from a bunch of different people, and let's just say I'm going to try to incorporate them, all of them, if possible. I don't think that it's probably not going to happen. I'm probably not going to incorporate all of them, but I'm going to incorporate a good bit of them into my art piece to make it as real as possible, to hit every mark. And yeah, I've got that one in the works. It's going to take a bit because it's kind of a lot to do, and I simply just have not been working on it. But I will finish it, and it'll be ready. I won't tell you when because I might be a liar. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about this portfolio so far. I hope the audio wasn't too bad. I know my last video was a bit, it just wasn't satisfactory. I tried to make it as tolerable as possible, but it just was not the best. And yeah, but hopefully this one goes a little bit better. And yeah, thank you for watching. Fire out.